Dear students, greetings for the day. Today we will study about Introduction to Cabin Crew. Air cabin crew are highly trained and are the main point of contact for passengers whilst in the air. They are responsible for passenger safety and are trained to deal with security and emergency situations. Air cabin crew make the flying experience pleasant and safe for passengers. As a cabin crew member, you will provide excellent customer service to passengers while ensuring their comfort and safety throughout the flight. Serving refreshments and meals and selling gifts and duty-free items are all part of the job. Crew are trained to deal with security and emergency situations and can administer first aid to passengers. They are primarily on board an aircraft for the safety and welfare of the passengers and secondly for their comfort. The role of cabin crew can be physically demanding and you must be prepared to be flexible to work any day of the year. This does however give you a perfect opportunity to get away from the repetitiveness of a normal 9-to-5 job. Cabin crew can encounter many different situations whilst working on board an aircraft and must be an excellent team player with the ability to work on their own initiative using quick thinking and organizational skills. They are primarily on board an aircraft for the safety and welfare of the passengers and secondly for their comfort. The role of cabin crew can be physically demanding and you must be prepared to be flexible to work any day of the year. This does however give you a perfect opportunity to get away from the repetitiveness of a normal 9-to-5 job. Cabin crew can encounter many different situations whilst working on board an aircraft and must be an excellent team player with the ability to work on their own initiative using quick thinking and organizational skills. It's also your responsibility to ensure that all emergency equipment is in working order prior to takeoff and that there are enough supplies on board. You'll help passengers board the plane and give a demonstration of safety procedures and equipment. Cabin crew members are the face of the airline. They are expected to excel in customer service and always remain friendly, approachable, and enthusiastic with a good sense of self-presentation. Even if there were no services of food or drink during a flight, there would still have to be a minimum presence of cabin crew for safety, which is a legal requirement. Crew members designated to perform safety duties in the passenger cabin in accordance with the requirements of the operator and the authority qualified to perform cabin functions in emergency situations and enact procedures to ensure a safe and orderly evacuation of passengers when necessary. Other personnel who are designated to perform non-safety related duties on board are not considered cabin crew members. Equivalent terms: flight attendant, cabin attendant. Pilot in command: the pilot designated by the operator as being in command of the aircraft and charged with responsibility for the operational control and safe conduct of a flight. Security: the safeguarding of civil aviation against acts of unlawful interference. This is achieved by a combination of measures as well as human and material resources. Chief Purser: the Chief Purser, CP, in-flight service manager, ISM, cabin service manager, CSM. The title associating with this crew member differs from airline to airline. These crew are mainly found on larger aircraft types and are in charge of the running of the cabin. They report when the cabin is secure for takeoff and landing, deliver on-board announcements, and any broken or missing emergency equipment items to the pilots after the pre-flight check. 2-4 senior crew members may also be on board the larger aircraft types. Chief pursers are flight attendants who have been promoted through the ranks flight attendant, senior crew member, purser, chief purser. To reach this position, the crew member must have had a mandatory amount of service years within the airline or airlines prior to changing airline. Further training is mandatory, and chief pursers typically earn a higher salary than flight attendants because of the added responsibility. Purser. The purser will, on board larger aircraft with multiple flight attendants, assist the chief purser and have similar roles and responsibilities. 2-4 senior crew members may also be on board the larger aircraft types. Pursers are flight attendants or with similar job profile, typically with an airline for several years prior to application, and undergoes further training to become a purser, and normally earn a higher salary than flight attendants because of the added responsibility. Working as cabin crew is often seen as an exciting and glamorous career without having a full appreciation of the role and responsibilities of the job. Air cabin crew are highly trained and are the main point of contact for passengers whilst in the air. They are responsible for passenger safety and are trained to deal with security and emergency situations. These responsibilities start with ensuring that all emergency equipment is in working order before takeoff and demonstrating safety procedures and equipment to passengers. Air cabin crew are responsible for ensuring that passengers are comfortable throughout the flight and that the flying experience is a pleasant one. They tend to passenger needs and provide a high level of customer service throughout the flight, which will include serving refreshments and selling duty-free/tax-free goods. Air cabin crew have a wide range of tasks to perform pre-flight, on the aircraft and post-flight, and it is essential that learners gain an understanding of how tasks should be prioritized. Last but by no means least, air cabin crew have to provide excellent customer service, and learners will gain an understanding of the importance of customer service to the role, the airline and the industry. Cabin crew has a huge responsibility to understand the importance of maintaining industry standards. They will come to appreciate the need for good timekeeping, perfection in grooming and uniform, and the importance of personal presentation both on and off duty. As an air cabin crew, you'll need to be professional, punctual and courteous at all times. Attend a pre-flight briefing, during which you'll be assigned your working positions for the upcoming flight. Crew are informed of flight details, the schedule, the number of infants on board, and if there are passengers with any special requirements, such as diabetic passengers or passengers in wheelchairs. Carry out pre-flight duties, including checking the safety equipment and doing security checks, ensuring the aircraft is clean and tidy and that information in the seat pockets is up to date and all meals, drinks and stock are on board. Welcome passengers on board and direct them to their seats. Inform passengers of the aircraft about safety procedures and ensure that all hand luggage is securely stored away. Check all seat belts and galleys are secure prior to takeoff. Make announcements on behalf of the pilot and answer questions during the flight. Serve meals and refreshments. Sell duty-free goods and advise passengers of any allowance restrictions in force at their destination. Reassure passengers and ensure they follow safety procedures correctly in emergency situations. Deal with any difficult or inebriated passengers who may be acting in a rude or antisocial way, politely but firmly, to ensure the safety and comfort of everyone on the flight. Give first aid where necessary. Ensure passengers disembark safely at the end of a flight and check that there is no luggage left in the overhead lockers and no stowaways or suspicious items on board. Complete paperwork, including writing a flight report. Air cabin crew attendants should possess the following skills: good communication and interpersonal skills, the ability to work well as part of a team but also use own initiative, problem-solving skills, ability to remain calm under pressure and in emergency situations, good literacy and numeracy skills, confidence,